For those who are not in the Hollywood world, what is wrong with her taking over the film?
I've never seen it before in my 30-plus year career in Hollywood. And an executive producer is below a producer in the film world. An executive producer signed up to be an executive producer, and that's it. As the time progressed in this film, she decided that she wanted to be a producer. She started to make edits. She wanted to be part of the editing.
Blake Lively's legal dispute has spiraled into an unexpected public ordeal. Typically composed, she's now reportedly frustrated with her legal team following a string of significant errors. What should have been a routine case has turned into a media firestorm, with sources suggesting crucial filings were missed and key defensive strategies ignored. Meanwhile, Belden's attorneys are aggressively pressing forward, intensifying the pressure. As the case unfolds, Lively's growing frustration is becoming impossible to overlook, both in court and in the news.
This footage, which appears in the finished version film It Ends With Us, only in this brief slow-motion montage, appears to show the two stars discussing how to play the scene as they slow dance. Baldoni's team says the 3 takes of this scene, reportedly shot in May 2023, show that what took place on set doesn't match claims of sexual harassment that Lively made in a legal complaint last month. According to the complaint, while filming a slow dance scene, Baldoni was, quote, caressing Miss Lively with his mouth in a way that had nothing to do with their roles. In the raw footage released by the director's attorney, the two stars can be heard talking about production details while playing to the camera as a couple in love. The complaint says Baldoni, quote, dragged his lips from her ear and down to her neck as he said, "It smells so good." Baldoni's representatives say that the tape proves it didn't happen.
I'm probably getting quickly on you. Well, it's not bad. It's my body makeup.
Lively's legal team firing back in a statement, quote, Justin Baldoni and his lawyer may hope that this latest stunt will get ahead of the damaging evidence against him, but the video itself is damning. Lively's representatives say that the footage corroborates her account of what happened, arguing that it shows Baldoni, quote, attempting to kiss her, kissing her forehead, rubbing his face and mouth against her neck, flicking her lip with his thumb, caressing her, telling her how good she smells, and talking with her out of character, adding that no woman should have to take defensive measures to avoid being touched by their employer without their consent.
What started as a simple legal dispute has spiraled into a courtroom circus filled with accusations, counterclaims, and costly blunders. Blake Lively's legal team, instead of tightening their defense, has only fueled the chaos with a series of critical missteps that have derailed the case. Now, rather than focusing on her battle against Justin Baldon, Lively finds herself scrambling for damage control as her attorneys struggle under scrutiny. The courtroom has become a high-stakes arena where reputations are unraveling, alliances are fracturing, and the pursuit of justice is fading into the background.
The drama between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni has now escalated into a full-blown legal battle, with both stars suing each other over a tangled web of claims that revolve around their collaboration on the 2024 film It Ends With Us. Lively, known for her roles in Gossip Girl and A Simple Favor, claims that Baldoni, the film's director, tried to destroy her career through a smear campaign after she brought forth allegations of sexual harassment and a hostile work environment against him. On the flip side, Baldoni says Lively went too far by exerting control over the production, threatening to withhold promotion unless her demands were met. He also argues that she falsely portrayed their professional relationship to the public, tarnishing his reputation. And while Lively is suing Baldoni for sexual harassment, retaliation, and false slight invasion of privacy, among other claims, Baldoni is countering with a defamation and civil extortion lawsuit, claiming that Lively not only made false allegations against him, but weaponized them to force him into complying with her demands.
Blake Lively's courtroom battle with Justin Baldoni is playing out like a real-life Hollywood saga. Explosive accusations, fierce denials, and non-stop controversy. But instead of fighting back, Lively's legal team has become the real headline grabber, thanks to a string of shocking missteps. Their blunders have turned an already intense case into an all-out courtroom circus, leaving everyone wondering just how much crazier this legal fight will get.
Moments ago, the judge overseeing their federal case in New York, Judge Lyman, ruled on the former B-list actress's request for an additional layer of protection. The unliftable Blake was not happy with the standard protective order in the case. She wanted an attorney's eyes only designation. And the judge has granted that. Congrats to Taylor Swift. Of the judge's ruling, a spokesperson for Delulu says, quote, "Today, the court rejected the Wayfarer party's objections and entered the protections needed to ensure the free flow of discovery material without any risk of witness intimidation or harm to any individual's security. With this order in place, Ms. Lively will move forward in the discovery process to obtain even more of the evidence that will prove her claims in court."
Blake Lively's claims of serious misconduct on the set of It Ends With Us have spiraled into a high-stakes legal war. She accused the production of being toxic, but Justin Baldoni fired back with a $400 million defamation lawsuit, calling the entire scandal a smear campaign orchestrated by Lively and Ryan Reynolds. What began as a workplace dispute has turned into a full-blown Hollywood battle, with reputations, careers, and a massive fortune on the line.
Blake Lively is accusing Justin Baldoni of sexual harassment, followed by an attempted PR takedown of her to cover his own ass from people finding out what he did to her. In an article titled, "We Can Bury Anyone," Blake Lively heroically shared her story, and the world was on her side because it looked like she was just trying to take down a predator in Hollywood. So Justin Baldoni and his ace lawyer launched an all-cylinder fire attack to clear his name, and he started by suing the New York Times, saying that article was just published because it was paid for by Ryan Reynolds, and it was a multi-layered scheme planned out by Blake and Ryan to take down Justin. And I think it's pretty common knowledge that the mainstream media will lie on behalf of their powerful friends or anyone who pays them off to say certain things. But this will be tough because the New York Times has never lost a lawsuit in their life, but doesn't just release some very piping hot information that seemingly proves that Blake and Ryan Reynolds were colluding with the New York Times for months.
Blake Lively's legal team just hit another major roadblock. In a bid to keep her private chats with A-list friends secret, they secured a court order to seal certain documents. But their victory was short-lived, because the judge quickly clarified that any evidence used in trial could still be made public. That means the very messages Lively wanted to hide might soon be front-page news. What was meant to be a smart legal strategy has turned into a potential PR disaster.
And release every single text messages between the two of them. We want the truth to be out there. We want the documents to be out there. We want people to make their determination based on receipts.
Justin Baldoni is firing back after Blake Lively filed a lawsuit against the actor, accusing him of unprofessional and sexually inappropriate behavior on the set of It Ends With Us. She also accused him of coordinating a smear campaign.
Was there a coordinated smear campaign to bring down Blake Lively?
100% no.
Baldoni is now suing the New York Times after the paper published a story about Lively's allegations.
Do you plan to sue Blake Lively?
Absolutely.
You will?
Yes.
Baldoni claims that the text messages in Lively's lawsuit were taken out of context or excluded. The New York Times said in a statement that they stand by their reporting and plan to vigorously defend against the lawsuit. Lively said previously that she hopes her suit helps pull back the curtain on these sinister retaliatory tactics to harm people who speak up about misconduct.
Another explosive twist rocked the case when Justin Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, dropped a shocking accusation against Blake Lively's longtime publicist, Leslie Sloan. He claimed Sloan wasn't just defending Lively, she was leading a smear campaign to destroy Baldoni's career. Sloan's attorney immediately hit back, slamming the claims as laughable and nothing more than a cheap distraction. But at this point, the case had spiraled far beyond the courtroom. It had turned into a full-blown media war, where shaping public opinion was just as critical as winning the legal fight.
There was actually no allegation of sexual harassment until the lawsuit.
It was a sinister PR move. Blake Lively then moved 11 days later to file a lawsuit. So now she has filed a lawsuit, and I don't think she ever wanted to do this. I think she genuinely wanted this to be a PR move, and she wanted to leak it to the New York Times. She thought the public would take her side with no questions asked. And instead the public is saying, no, we have a few questions here. And Justin Baldoni is going all the way to the wall on this. His lawyer is already giving interviews explaining just how nasty her team has played this. The lawyer's name is Brian Friedman. He stopped by the Megyn Kelly show, and here's some of the things that he had to say. First, he says there used to never be a sexual claim. There never was a sexual claim until she went to that civil rights office. Take a listen.
Friedman escalated the fight, releasing behind-the-scenes footage and hinting at a website meant to support Baldoni's side. He claimed the evidence disproved Lively's allegations of a toxic set. Lively's legal team fired back, accusing him of twisting the truth and launching his own smear campaign. They quickly sought an emergency hearing, arguing his media tactics could sway the jury and threaten Lively's right to a fair trial. At this stage, it's no longer just about the courtroom. It's a battle for control of the public narrative.